Bill Michaels here with Mike Clemens from NFL Sirius Radio and former Packer Brady Poppinga. Let's first of all talk about this, Brady. What is it like coming out of that tunnel with this type of atmosphere?
Obviously, it's going to be electric because this is playoff time. And if you think about the history of the last few years with the Green Bay Packers, they really haven't had a lot of success at home. I believe they've won one playoff game. And you know the fans here dying to see their team at home win, especially in these big-time games where it's colder. I know today's not going to be crazy cold, but it'll be electric. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's not bad out here, and there's not a lot of wind. The forecasted high for 21, it's like 17, 18 right here now, and so there isn't the wind. But, you know, one of the things that the players have talked about, Aaron Rodgers has talked about, is footing on a day like this. What's Lambeau Field like in January?
It's going to be a slippery field, ladies and gentlemen. It's slippery literally throughout the year, but even more so now because the grass is dead. Any green grass you do see is painted grass, and so it's going to be an issue, and it's going to be something to whereas each team is going to have to make an adjustment with their cleats. They're going to have to put longer cleats in, and ultimately they're going to have to be a little more cognizant of when they do make their cuts, and you're not going to be able to make as sharp of cuts, and so It will be a factor. But also it will be something that you can adjust to by putting cleats in and being a little bit more cognitive of it.
How much does the calf injury to Aaron Rodgers bother you?
It bothers me a lot. I've had that injury, and so his game is moving around. His game is elongating the play. His game is avoiding the rush, buying time in the pocket. Obviously, he can make a defense have issues, especially if they're not concerned with his ability to run, and he can gash him for a nice 15, 20-yard run. That's before the injury. Now he's going to be a statue in that pocket, and you know that Dallas is going to bring pressure right up in his face. They're going to dare him to move, because they saw what happened when he tried to move against the Detroit Lions. He re-injured his calf in 2 weeks, and that's been how long it's been since he's re-injured his calf against the Detroit Lions. Is not enough for that injury to fully heal, and so it's going to be a little sensitive, a little tight, a little painful for him. And so we saw how he performed against the Detroit Lions. Expect that same kind of plan to just keep him stationary in the pocket. Obviously, he's going to have to really lean heavily on the running game, and Eddie Lacy's going to have a big day.
And Brady, I think it's still got to be a significant injury, because Aaron even admitted to us, not only was he getting the treatments in the training room from the crew here for the Packers, but he's getting acupuncture as well to try and deal with
pretty normal,
that kind of pain. Is it?
Yeah, that's pretty normal. They even do that in maintenance purposes, but I've just experienced that injury, and it takes a lot longer than 2 weeks for it to heal. And he's a guy who relies so heavily on his feet, so he's going to have to really adjust his game, and obviously Mike's going to have to help him out. They're not going to be able to use him.
And his teammates as well.
Yeah, but that's the play calling. You can't put him in a situation, in my opinion, where you at least tempt him to where he's going to want to move around, because he will. He thinks he's, invincible, which, in a lot of cases he is, but in this particular case, they could do him a lot of justice by just calling plays that keeps the pocket keeps it stationary and not moving the pocket, and then obviously relying heavily on that running game.
Real quick before we go, let's talk about Seattle. Get a big win last night against Carolina. Cam Chancellor was a one-man wrecking crew.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, they're the team to beat, but how good is this team?
They're, in my opinion, the most balanced team. And a lot of times, I'm not saying every year, that usually means they're the team to win it. And what really impressed me last night about the Seattle Seahawks was Russell Wilson. In the first half, when pretty much that running game, which he has relied and leaned on so much throughout his career, especially last year when they went on to win the Super Bowl, was non-existent. The guy gashed that Carolina Panther defense. One time it was a blitz that he's able to beat, and another time it was just man-to-man coverage through a nice pass to Kurtz there, and it showed that Russell Wilson has taken those next steps. Rumor has it that when this year comes up, he's going to become the highest-paid quarterback. Yeah. He really helped his chances right there, showing that he doesn't need a running game in order to have a lot of success. And then obviously in the second half, the running game started to get going. The defense played really well. Talking about the Seahawks, they dominated the Carolina Panthers, which I think many of us anticipated. I mean, every other year the Carolina Panthers don't even get into the playoffs, but just when you look at the overall just layout of that team, they're extremely balanced, and in my opinion, the most balanced team in the NFL.
And built two huge momentum shifts in both the Patriots and Seahawks win. When Joe Flacco's trying to go to Torrey Smith for what it could have been a go-ahead touchdown with about 1:30 left in the game, he throws into double coverage, it gets picked. Cam Chancellor picks off Cam Newton last night, takes it back 90 yards. You could just feel the air come out of any chance for the Panthers. Won't be any different today between the Cowboys and the Packers. One of those big plays could change this game.
Also